Hello everyone! Welcome back. I hope your month of November has been going well so far. If you're new here, my name's Zoe, and I'm an illustrator who shares my passion for notebooks, stationery, and journaling here on YouTube. Today, I want to show you a more practical way of using a commonplace notebook. I introduced the larger concept of that book a few weeks ago, and some of you mentioned how they also like using this system, so without further ado, let's jump right in. This week, I had an important meeting coming up with a publishing house, and I wanted to be ready before attending the call, since bookmaking is quite new to me. So I grabbed my commonplace notebook, and the very first step was the initial research. It's always best to prepare before any meeting, especially because people will expect questions, or that you know a bit more about them or the subject of the meeting. And for this meeting specifically, the subject was picture book acquisition, and I knew nothing of it, so it was important to me getting a bit of the context in order to perform well during that call. I then made a list of questions and just went for it. The step after the meeting was to complete my research with all the notes I gathered during that call. I wrote a lot of messy words in that small notebook that you see, bits and pieces, so it's not the ideal looking back at that for reference later. So for that reason, I did not wait too long after the meeting to put all those notes into something more legible and clear. That way, the information was still fresh in my mind, and the final pages felt more complete. Now, a few days later, I'm able to read back at those and know exactly what was said during the meeting. I have a very clear idea of book acquisition, how that company specifically goes about it, and the full process. One of the notes I got from the meeting was actually to read more picture books and see how the text is written, what tone, vocabulary, rhyme, and rhythm. So the best way to do that was in this next step coming up, going to a bookstore and browsing through all the new books they have. So let's go on a little trip. So after that bookstore trip and gathering those extra pieces of information, I received an email with a more detailed brief of what the publishing house is looking for in their book acquisition pitch. So my last step was to write all that down in order to put all the pieces together. A PDF is always tricky to find once the email is a bit dated, so it's actually perfect to use the commonplace notebook for that. I could just transcribe it in a few pages, making it really clear, and I feel like rewriting something helps remembering it better too. So now, as an end result, I have both the definition of what book acquisition is, that process in that specific company, and also the more technical details to include in my final pitch. So all that is combined and rephrased in my own way inside my notebook, So whenever I need, I can just open my Hobonichi and search for any piece of information I'm looking for. The Commonplace book is a wonderful tool, and I've really enjoyed using it so far. So I hope you do too. Hi! So I'll show you a final flip through of my Commonplace notebook so far. I believe last video, that's where we left off. So I just added a few more articles and I'll go through them now. The first one being some art market tips in case I was gonna table one day to an event, convention. I found those on Instagram, and so I thought it would be nice to keep them. I feel like it's one of those things that you just look at once and then you kind of lose it. So I thought it'd be nice to have it, you know, written down somewhere. And then the next one was a little zine idea I had, and potentially putting all my artwork together, and just, you know, the kind of format, paper, the cost of it. I think it's nice to think about all that in the Commonplace notebook, because then I could just refer back to it and look at the ideas I had and the research I already made. And then this was when I got my new Hobonichi planners, which was a bit ago, but yeah, I kept all the stickers and wrote about it. It's more like a journal type article, but yeah, I want to remember that time because I felt really happy. And then this is all about a sticker sheet I designed with watercolors. I really love how it turned out. I haven't really gone about printing it yet because it is a bit costly, but it's something that I really love making and putting together. And yeah, I just wrote about that and how realistic it can be for me to try to sell it. I mean, again, step by step, I'm trying to create more things that could potentially go in an art shop. So that could be interesting, and yeah, that's a work in progress. This, I wrote about my 100 days on Duolingo. I finally hit the 100-day streak, which I was really proud of. I did mention in my previous videos, but I am learning Korean, so it's been like fun to start on Duolingo. You can really like practice 5 minutes each day. It's not so much that it's, you know, like unachievable. So I feel like 100 days go pretty quickly, and yeah, that's like a big achievement. So I thought I could write about that. And then this was an update on my YouTube channel and how it grew. Again, I can't believe how fast everything's going. Yeah, I'm always so surprised to see that you guys enjoy watching the videos, and all your comments mean a lot to me. And yeah, I definitely want to keep going. Another recipe, I made crepe. So that's the photo of the crepe I made. And then again, really simple, but it's always nice to have it somewhere. So yeah, now it's here. One of those page again where I wrote on the whole thing, and then like, I don't know, I drew these weird circles, and then it got super messy because I was using like a marker that was a bit smudgy. So yeah, again, I decided to cut it, and then actually I cut I cut the circle out so you can't see the pen. I just cut the actual circle and then paste it back because I still like what was written on there, and I thought I could still keep it. So another flip page, I guess. And then this is about learning Korean and like how to, you know, keep being motivated and keep learning the right way, and not trying to attain too much too quickly. I think that's really important when it comes to like such an ambitious thing to learn. You really got to take the time and be proud of every little step. This was my 1 month on YouTube. I made this last week and I was really proud. Again, I want to keep going, keep making videos and share all that here with you. So this little page is about a reality TV show I'm watching. It's a French one, and it's basically a competition where young people train to sing, dance, act, and then every week they perform on stage live, and then they get critiques from teachers, and then they get to improve. I just love it. I think it's fun to take all that knowledge with me too and apply that to my own practice and my own life. It's been really entertaining to watch that. So yeah, I just wrote about that. And then this you've seen in that video. I did research about book acquisition because I was gonna have that meeting with a publishing house. And so I wanted to be ready before moving into the meeting. So I already kind of did my own research on the side and then added on to that after the meeting. But I guess you've seen that in the video. And then here are more like names of publishing houses that I've seen in the bookstore. I think it's good information to have. And then this was a page about running because I did start running recently. Oh, and these are just some tips that I found online in an article for beginners. So yeah, I want to keep those preciously. And then this was a brief I received as a PDF. So I wanted to keep everything in the same book again. So I copied all the information that I saw in that PDF. That way I don't have to look back at my email and try to find like the exact one with the PDF linked, you know, I have it here. And then I still have to add on the 2 little spreads that they sent to complete the page. And yeah, that's all I got for now. Thank you so much for watching all the way through. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day or night, whichever moment you're watching this. And I will gladly see you next week. Take care.